Hello, and welcome to Outside the Zeitgeist, an opinion podcast presented by Mook Media. Please be aware that the opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the host platform. Outside the Zeitgeist is funded by people like you, for some reason. And now, here are your hosts, Greg and Charles.
Okay, welcome to Outside the Zeitgeist. Oh man, we're off to a great stop. This is episode number 16, and for those of you that don't realize why my fingers are like that, you haven't been paying attention long enough. And once again, I am your resident misanthrope, Charles.
And I am your resident skeptic, Greg.
Cheers, Greg.
Cheers, Charles.
Mm.
Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and most importantly, dislike the video so you can show that the feeling is mutual.
I'm still gonna laugh.
That's fine.
Still gonna laugh.
That's fine.
And we have a whole shitload of nightmare fuel.
I must say, the weekend is very fruitful when it comes to nightmare fuel. It must be because everyone's sleeping, and that's why they release all the nightmare fuel on the
But you know
weekends.
what? Before we get into that, Greg, you like Halloween, right?
I love Halloween.
I've been working on a Halloween costume. I want you to look at it and tell me what you think. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I have one question.
I'm a victim of a chemical weapons attack.
I was about to ask, are you simulating lighter fluid without actual lighter fluid? And will there be a virtual fire flaming from you in a moment?
No. I'm definitely a victim of a chemical weapons attack. There's no possible mistake. That was definitely not water. It was chemical weapons. And
oh yes, I can see the scarring now. It's
yeah. Oh my God, I'm melting. Oh God. But yeah. So
your face is irreparably destroyed.
well, that was because of the pavement. But anyways, so yeah, the there's been more coming out of the whole attacks on Douma, where all the OPCW whistleblowers have been trying to come out and trying to be heard. People are still blocking them. I was watching this video. Something in the European Union a couple of weeks ago, and this guy from Ireland is getting up and saying, if these people are saying something different than what the actual story is, let's listen to them.
This was the thing I was trying to find last week.
Oh, okay.
That I heard where the guy gets completely called fake news when he's reading.
Oh yeah, that fucking asshole from whatever the fuck her name is from France is like, stop! She's telling your time is up or end your, and then she's like, I would like to apologize to all the victims of the chemical weapons attack. We should not want the, it's like the fucking Rittenhouse thing. The parents of the people that were shot is like, oh, I don't care, they just killed my kid, just put them away, blah blah blah. It's apologizing for saying, for someone coming out and saying, oh, hey, this person that killed your family member, they might not be their actual person. It might be somebody else. We apologize for you having to hear that. Give me a fucking break.
Now, I thought it was, when I heard the clip, the two times I've heard it, the first time I was like, this is very interesting. The second time I heard this, I was like, oh, it's even more interesting than I thought it was. Because I didn't hear the fact that he was reading the report. Mm-hmm. I just heard that he was being censored by the female who was, rather, I can't say that. She might not have been female. She might have been male. But
no, it was a woman.
You're probably right.
She was from France, and she had some position in France where, basically as I understand it, the attack, military action in Syria is beneficial for her. So
absolutely, why not? That's how politicians are. War is good, peace is bad. Let's continue.
But in other things you're not hearing about now, there's this company that I've never heard about before, Greg. It's called Colonial.
You've not heard of them?
I haven't heard of them, and apparently they have a pipeline. I've never heard about this pipeline either.
Yep.
It goes from Houston to Linden, New Jersey.
Yep.
And it transports gas. This is all new stuff to me.
Was this?
And
I hate to ask this, but was this a different pipeline that burst?
No. I didn't hear anything about that. But this company, they came out and said they were the victims of a cyber attack, and it's going to affect the whole pipeline going from Houston to New Jersey. And and there's nothing else to be said about that. Moving on to the next topic. So a bunch of teachers came out. And said, and they're starting to protest because they're calling the what's going on in the schools indoctrination.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
Year 2021, they're calling it indoctrination?
Well, I
Not
mean...
2019? Not
well,
2020?
Well,
2018?
last year I was tutoring some student, and the
hold
student
on.
was
What level of
high school. Yeah,
okay,
and this kid and his brother, they were both telling me how basically the curriculum in their school is all critical race theory, and everybody, majority of people hate it because they realize it's bullshit indoctrination. So a bunch of teachers came out, protesting over it, and of course, they probably got ridiculed and laughed at by all the
people that need to be ridiculed and laughed at.
Speaking of people that need to be ridiculed and laughed at, did you watch SNL this weekend?
I did. I watched approximately 7 minutes total. Okay, I watched the first segment, the opening segment, which is supposed to be a joke, a giant joke, all comedy and everything. Elon Musk is on there. He's talking. I'm trying to think, where's the funny part? I keep hearing people laughing. There must be a laugh track. Or they're being told to laugh because they're being paid. Literally, they have to be paid in order to be allowed in the studio, which is the best part about this. So, they're being paid to laugh because that's what we do now. We pay people to laugh, even though we were already paying them to laugh before we had to pay them to be in the studios. Yeah. Okay?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because SNL hasn't been funny for quite some time.
Yeah.
But he has this whole entire rant, and suddenly, for some reason, his mother was also part of the skit. I don't know why, except for possibly to show the fact that he has Asperger's. That was important mentioning for some reason.
Well, I have one question about the skit. Was it okay?
Oh yes, it was very okay.
Was it okay?
Yes,
it was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Yes,
it was okay. Okay.
And so he ends the skit, the first skit, the opening skit, which is supposed to have a laugh. Okay, and I gotta admit, in 2016, when what's his face?
I don't know.
What is that? The brothers, who's part of 30 Rock. Why can't I think of his name?
Baldwin.
Okay. When Alec Baldwin was playing Trump.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
When Alec Baldwin was playing Trump, those first few skits they came out with were hilarious. And whenever they had someone trying to portray Bush, and they talked about math.
Mm-hmm.
And they used the incorrect terms for math and all that too. That was also great stuff. That was sort of by the end of the downfall was the first few skits of Trump, and then they killed SNL by continuing it.
Yeah. But
the best part, and I was listening to someone else talk about this, and they pulled up the clip, and they said anytime they have a conservative on SNL,
mm-hmm.
they inevitably try to get them to backtrack on anything they've ever said. And it's real funny because Elon Musk in one of the skits is playing a bandit. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I was against masks. I was against the masks. And then you have Keenan come out and say he's one of the other bandits. And by the way, he's the only one wearing the mask in this skit. And he's not even wearing it. It's one of those bandanas that's
yeah.
So I was against masks. And then Keenan comes out and says, well, that's they're going to catch us more easily or something to that effect. Or he talks about how they're important. And then he's like, but I reversed my opinion on it. Masks are important. And I'm like, how subtle do you guys try to be? Because that was not subtle at all.
Yeah, I hear social media is going all fucking haywire over Musk showing up and his performance on SNL.
Yes, so much that Dogecoin was allegedly tanking, and yet when I looked at Dogecoin this morning, it was still above 50 cents. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, 1,000% increase from 5 cents to now is still fucking bananas as far as Dogecoin is concerned. And the fact that Dogecoin is up, I think, 14,000% overall from the beginning of the year or something like that is insanity. Really shows how inflation is affecting.
Well, with all this, what's going on in social media, I mean, them going crazy over Musk. I think it's time to find a new alternative social media site. And what better one to go on than the one created by our dear old former President of the United States, Donald Trump. This is his social media site. It's a blog. And it's a blog that allows you to just repost his stuff on Facebook.
Hold up. Cheers, Donald Trump. I commend you for what you could not do during your presidency, apparently. You found a way to do 4 months, 5 months after your presidency was over. Cheers.
Oh, my God.
I congratulate you on your stupidity, and I will be forever entertained.
Oh my god, it is so fucking hilarious. But social media is important, right? That's why the CIA is using it to spy on everybody.
Yes,
Did you
the
read that
CIA.
article?
I heard about it.
I actually looked at the article. The article's on CBSNews.com saying that the CIA will just go and get all this information from people and from social media, and anyone with half a brain said, "Well, duh."
My parents told me years ago when I was a child, Greg, don't talk to strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take candy from strangers. Don't do all these things with strangers. Don't give out information to strangers. And apparently in the last 30 years, since the 90s, we've reversed our position on talking to strangers. And now we'll make certain that every single fucking stranger knows every single goddamn fucking stupid opinion, where we're living, where we're going to the movies, we're eating, where we're eating, who we're fucking, who we're talking with.
You don't have to worry about stranger danger on Twitter.
Absolutely not.
Well, with the exception of
Facebook.
No. The I might as well get into it now. I was going to save it for later. But Twitter, right? Remember how I mentioned about the kids on Twitter and the naked pictures of them and it wouldn't take them down?
Yeah.
So Twitter went to the Supreme Court and said, you know what? We don't have to take these pictures down because we're protected by Article 230. So now you can get pictures of kitties while you get an advertisement for a kitty meal.
Excellent. Just while I'm petting my pussy as well. Other news with the CIA. So if you haven't seen it yet, you should really just watch how cringe that last video they put out recently. Very recently. In fact, they put out another video 2 days ago. And a month ago April, they had a video of this guy who is, I believe he's gay. He might not be, but it's he's talking about in the video support of the LGBTQ and so on and so forth.
Those videos are so. Do you ever see IP-denical?
These are the worst videos ever.
Have you ever seen IP-denical?
No.
It was a video put out by the European Union to promote the idea that copyright is important because without copyright, there would only be one song that everyone would have to listen to. There would only be one style of clothing everyone would have to wear.
They're idiots.
They're idiots. They're making the case of why copyright is bad and telling you. I mean, it's the Trump argument. You just make the lie so big.
Idiots.
But going back to the CIA,
I watched this video of this guy, I guess. And he's a librarian, and he's talking about how he always wanted to be a librarian and such. Mm-hmm. And he's a librarian curating the library for the CIA. And he's like, we even have these experimental things to help agents learn critical skills in the field. And he's showing off a collection of board games, anything from code names to even Horrified,
the Universal Studios game.
Yes. And I'm looking at these games, and the majority of them are just social deduction games.
Social deduction.
Which makes sense. Some of them are not social deduction games. Was Marco Polo a social deduction game in your opinion?
I had to pause on that one. Marco Polo? What?
Like, there's Mastermind, there's Code Names, there's Crypto.
You mean Decrypto?
Decrypto, that's it. That's what I meant. Decrypto. There was a couple of other really good games that I thought that are good for like 2 to 3 players or a team of players.
Right.
And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I got to make certain there was no other games other than social deduction games. Then Marco Polo just makes its appearance on the screen, and I'm like, okay, this is all bullshit. This is complete bullshit. They're just trying to get board gamers into being CIA agents.
Yeah. I mean, they attack gamers, saying they're misogynist. And, but here's a home for you board gamers, the CIA. Yeah, like we're all fucking stupid enough to fall for that.
It was fantastic. When I watched, and then I watched another video of theirs, which, like I said, came out 2 days ago, and it's this black woman, and she's just in the car, and she's talking, and she's having a conversation, and I was waiting for it to get into one of those topics that would be what I would consider woke, and then about a minute and a half in, she starts mentioning cisgender or something like that, and I'm like, okay, there it is. They are officially appealing to anybody who is on the woke side of the spectrum.
Well, you got to get that training in, though, right?
Absolutely.
But now, here's another proper application of training. So apparently, the U.S. is angry at Iran for chasing the Coast Guard out of the Persian Gulf.
Why is the Coast Guard in the Persian Gulf? I heard about this, and I'm like, why is the Coast Guard in the Persian Gulf?
I really feel bad for the puddle jumpers, man. Between the National Guard, what they're doing with the National Guard, and what they're doing with the puddle jumpers, these people aren't supposed to be over there. They're not trained for that kind of shit.
Are you telling me that the Coast Guard is allowed to Coast Guard any coast?
Apparently, that's the new thing. But,
I would even question if they were down by Colombia or Brazil.
Yeah. Well, the Coast Guard does do a lot of, they hunt down pirates. You get that from the Navy also, but they'll hunt down pirates like offshore and drug smugglers and whatnot. So it's not like they're completely like inept for combat. They are combat trained because the smugglers and whatnot. They got machine guns too. So it's not like their training doesn't include that. But
the Persian Gulf. I had heard that there were short hires in a number of fields. I did not realize the military was one of them.
Yeah, well, what we need is a new hero, and the perfect new hero. Move over, Captain America. Say hello to Captain Trail of Tears. So apparently, Captain America is now going to be a Native American.
Okay. Now I don't understand how this could happen. We had a black Captain America.
We've come full circle.
We've had a black Captain America. Now we need a Native American Captain America.
Look at this outfit. Look at this outfit. Look.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
What? Yeah, I heard what his first story is going to be. His first story is going to be an alternate take on what happened at Standing Rock, and where he goes and he gets all the inhabitants to safety so that they can run the pipe through.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's exactly what the United States is doing.
Look at that fucking outfit. Oh my god.
Please tell me this is an alternate universe.
No.
Because the only thing I can think of this is when I think back to one of the greater, better storylines of when Doctor Doom took over the universe. And that is with the Thor's Corps.
Right. It's over here.
Yeah. Because everybody, in one of these universes, everybody was Thor. And I was like, this is hilarious. Everybody's got the power of Thor.
That's like that movie with what was it, John Malkovich?
Yeah.
Where he goes inside himself and everybody's John Malkovich.
But you see, this makes sense because the universe itself had fractured into 5 separate universes. There was a Hulk universe. There was a Thor Corps, right? And Doctor Doom was behind everything, and he had mastermind to take over everything. And then he got bored and he gave it all up. That's what Doom does.
I have to ask the question: what's going to be the native Captain America version of?
Out Nazi.
Oh, speaking of which, you hear he got arrested.
Got arrested.
He got arrested. Yeah, Arthur Pulaski got arrested because.
Look, what's going to happen? This is plain and simple. What's going to happen is he's going to leave the state of Oklahoma.
Wait. Oklahoma. Oh, you're not. I thought you were talking about Pulaski.
No. I'm talking about the Native American guy.
Okay.
He's going to leave the state of Oklahoma. I'll if you don't know what I'm referring to, I'll tell you in a moment. He's going to leave the state of Oklahoma.
I got to think about it.
And suddenly he's going to realize that Native American law no longer applies to every portion of the state, or half the state, or something like that. So a year or two ago, I came across this report. No, it must have been 2 years. I think it was a year ago, actually. I came across this report that talked about that some Native American, one of those I guess those treaties they had signed had there were problems with it when they started having people come into the state and such.
Right.
With regards to how they were applying the laws to their people. And suddenly now Native American law applies everywhere, and they own like everything.
Interesting.
It was the most interesting story. I really want to dive deeper into it, but beyond the hilariousness of it.
Well, you know what Native Captain America's catchphrase is going to be.
What is it?
Stopping was invented by the white man, but we taking it back. Oh my God.
That makes plenty of sense.
Oh man, but
yeah, they own the state.
Oh, sweet.
Native, as far as laws. And such.
I guess I'm supposed to feel some sort of way because I'm part Native American, but that's all fucking horse shit. So let's see what else we get. Oh, I mentioned Twitter in the court, but the Federal Appeals Court So now this is a procedural thing mainly. I don't think it's going to go through, but I don't know if you heard about the kids that got in an accident because they're using the speedometer filter on Snapchat.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so
I don't follow Snapchat or any of these stupid.
Snapchat is this stupid social media thing where the whole idea is you take a picture and you send it to people and then it's gone, right?
Yes.
But now, of course, you can save the picture if you want.
Why?
I don't know, but it has all these little gimmicks and filters on it and everything. And one of the filters they put on was a speedometer filter, so you can tell how fast. So if you're like a passenger in a car, it would tell you how fast you're going and so forth. So these two kids were in a car. The one was driving. I believe it was the passenger was using the speedometer filter, and they get in an accident and they die. So the parents are suing Snapchat. Again,
okay, now I get where this is going.
Yeah, again, stupid thing. It's like they're not even considering that again, people suck. So of course it's probably them just trying to get money or just not wanting to admit the fact that their kids were fucking idiots.
Sure.
But and like I mentioned the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I'm probably pretty sure the parents of the kids that are the people that died or the families that people that died from Kyle Rittenhouse, didn't even bother to look at the video of why they were even shot in the first place.
I'm sure they didn't.
But now the federal appeals court is allowing it to go to trial, but this is mainly a procedural thing. I don't think the parents are actually going to win against Snapchat.
I can't imagine they would.
Yeah, I mean
it's not Snapchat's fault that someone who's driving is using a phone.
Right, and I even
incorrectly.
as I understand it, they even have a disclaimer, but it just goes to show you, it's like that thing I say before. The difference between someone with a lot of money and little money is the amount of people they can inflict their stupidity on. And
I'm suddenly reminded of one of my one of the better episodes of Black Mirror. You watched that, right?
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day.
So one of the better episodes was an episode about a guy that took someone hostage. And
yes, he took the
woman,
British MP's daughter hostage.
Yes, took them hostage and wanted to get a conversation with the CEO of the Facebook clone in that universe.
Right.
And his whole entire thing is he just ranted to the guy about the fact that they gamified the system and they made people want to use the phones while they were doing stuff. And I have to agree that the system has been gamified because...
Well, yeah, I mean, the algorithms are specifically designed to
it's even more so than that.
It's even
more so than that. I was having a little introspection when I was listening to, or rather watching, one of the guys I watch on Twitch play games. I was just thinking to myself, wow, the entire system is all about giving them bits. And
in this case, it's they things.
Right. But when you think about the bits in that, 100 bits is only $1, and they get excited over 200 or 300 bits, and I'm like, wow, you're excited over $2? You fucking homeless? I don't even...
Yeah.
But wonderful, wonderful things doing with money is inflation. Inflation continues. Charles, you're going to have to cut back on some of your favorite foods.
Well, it's a good thing that Elon Musk will let me go to the moon in Dogecoin.
Absolutely. To the moon! But, bacon is up 11%.
Yes, it is.
Even worse, corn is up 44%. Which means all those wonderful candies are out of reach.
Well, a lot of processed food. I mean, you're seeing skyrockets and even like the basic meats and whatnot because they're fed corn.
Absolutely. It's amazing that we made it this far in life without corn.
So amazing. But so people are, you have the inflation issue. People aren't going to be able to afford all this shit. And at the same time, employers can't find people. Now, they're blaming it on the people getting stimulus and unemployment checks and whatnot.
I blame that on it partially as well.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing is the employers want to blame it on that. But if you actually look into the issue, there's other factors like a lot of places the working conditions are fucking horrible. And the fact that they're still not going to get health care by working there, and people, and many of these people believe that this virus is so bad, so deadly, you're going to get me, blah blah blah. So why should I go to work and risk getting virus and blah blah blah? And this is
my understanding of the issue was, if the government's going to pay me $16 an hour to stay home and do nothing, and my job is going to pay me $17 an hour to go to work and do something I hate, Why would I go to work for
Yeah.
the extra $1 an hour when I could just stay home and get
Especially
fat
when
and play video games?
Especially when that extra $1 an hour wouldn't even pay for the gas to get back and forth.
Oh my God, you're right. You've cracked the system.
But I had something I was going to point out, but I can't remember what it was now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I distract you?
You did. You interrupted me. You distracted me, Greg. No, so, but what's it called? You know, you have people that it's a thing of risks, right? You have to analyze your risks.
Sure.
You go on a job which for the most people believe is a risk they don't want to take because you're going to be around people and get sick. And what is great about this is shows you that there's, no matter who you are, and once again I'll say it, no matter if you're rich or poor, the only difference is how much resources you have with which to spread your stupidity around the world. So all these people who can't find workers for their jobs are probably the same people that were promoting the whole idea of, hey, people need to stay home.
I think they're the same people that said, you know, Greg, you can't have a job anymore because you're paid too much, and we need to get rid of you because Bed Bath & Beyond no longer needs people that are skilled at your pay wage.
Well, I mean, if you are looking for work, now see, here's what I would do. If I was looking for work and I had, you know, an extensive amount of computer skills, especially in the hacking department, what I would do is I would go up to a company and say, hey, want me to hack this other company's private communications for you? Because, you know, everybody's communicating on Zoom. They're all having Zoom meetings. So that's good.
That's how China's getting the information.
Well, I mean, yeah. But I expect that the next big job is going to be hacking into other people's, other corporate, basically corporate espionage. That's going to be the new big job of the 2020s.
Hasn't it always been a big job?
Bigger because now it's
easier,
yeah.
Sure.
You just got to hack into the conference calls and the streams, which is easier to do now because people are working from home. So and this is and yet another way of all the idiots in charge shooting themselves in the foot.
I just gotta say, it's very true that people are not going to work because they've been told that they shouldn't go back to work because it's deadly and everything. But, the most important thing I've learned is that the industries where we need people to be going into are not getting people to go into those industries, such as healthcare. Over the last entire year and a half plus of the 2-week lockdown that we were supposed to have, I've learned that many countries, including U.S. and now India, do not have enough people that know how to work ventilator machines.
Oh, well, yeah. Did we talk about the ventilators?
We did. But I'm just saying, there's just not enough people that know how to use these machines. There's not enough people that know how to flip burgers at McDonald's. There's not enough people that know how to do work.
We don't have it on here.
Well, maybe we didn't.
Yeah. So because you looked up what happened with all those ventilators.
I did look up what happened with all those ventilators.
Yeah. What happened with all that?
Well, the science said we shouldn't use them.
Oh.
They were killing people.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, people were dying.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I remember, like in the middle of last year, when people were saying, "Oh, we have all these ventilators are being a problem, and they need to stop using them and so forth."
Yeah, apparently New York is sending its excess ventilators over to India for the tons of fresh. I use fresh because that's how the Indian article I read used it. Fresh cases.
Fresh cases.
Maybe there was a translation error, but fresh cases of all these. People in India getting sick, and he was talking about that there was this college that had 100 ventilators, but only 10 of them were open, and the 10 that were open weren't even being used because they didn't have anybody trained in using the ventilators themselves, so they couldn't use them. And they had also sent over the CPAC, you know what those are, right?
So you mean CPAPs?
No, maybe they spelled it wrong.
Continuous positive airway pressure?
These sleep apnea machines.
Yeah, CPAPs.
CPAP machines. Funny thing about that. Every time I saw one of those machines at Bed Bath & Beyond, I thought it said crap machine.
I have one.
But they sent those over to convert some of their machines into ventilators.
Yeah, you can use.
But nobody can use them because they got nobody trained.
Oh, I heard this earlier today. Apparently the CDC is putting out different guidelines for how to test for the
I've heard
SARS-CoV-2.
28 cycles now.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're saying that they need to if I remember correctly, it was something like the testing that we've been having is not accurate, and they need to change. People need to change the way they're doing the testing. Something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I think that's what the CDC said.
Very, very inconsistent messaging, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Going from the fact that you shouldn't mix your vaccines. If you get Moderna as your second one. If you get Pfizer as your second one.
Except for now, Moderna and Pfizer are apparently just as dangerous as the Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca. I saw that.
Sure.
I saw that in the headline.
Heard about, I came across this wonderful tidbit. Since the adverse AVERS, I think it's called, right? Adverse vaccine reaction
syndrome,
something like that. They have this is the entire place where you can report, or all the reports are collected.
Right. Okay.
So I've been told that the entire automated collecting of all this, of all the things that have been collected since they started this, less than 1% of all adverse reactions have been collected.
Right.
And I was going through a number of these a couple months ago. I was watching someone go through like these at a time, and I'm like, wow, that many people died 24 hours after getting the virus? Getting the vaccine. So back to the point was, so the media was telling me that I had to get one vaccine and stay with one vaccine. Then the media was telling me I could get the Moderna and switch up to Pfizer after I had done that. If I couldn't get the second Moderna.
And none of these actually looked at the instructions from either of the companies either.
Sure. Then I was told that if I got Moderna, I should only get Moderna. I shouldn't be getting Pfizer, because that would be dangerous. One of the best memes I've heard of so far was the guy who got all 5 vaccines.
Oh, God.
He was going to the doctor. Doctor, I've collected all 5. After he stabs him with the last vaccine. And the doctor goes, oh, God, you need to go to a hospital right now. With this, I am immortal, more powerful than everybody. It's a joke on Thanos.
Yeah, I was going to say. And people have been, what's it called? So there's this new thing going on in the, what's it called? The dating sphere.
Sure.
Which is called the Sigma male. Have you heard of this bullshit?
No, I've only heard of the Fauci kiss.
So apparently, the Sigma male is a guy that just basically doesn't give a fuck about you and just kind of does his own thing, right?
Okay.
And I have to wonder if that's a way of propaganda, a way of like pushing propaganda onto people, because now, like for guys like me, there's now this label on. And once there's a label on something, oh, it's more comfortable. It's a new thing. I gotta be involved. And who's gonna go after it? All the fucking yuppie women that are gonna be like, oh, you gotta get the vaccine because all those the fucking nagging bitches.
Sure.
So
sure.
I wonder if this whole Sigma male thing is just a means to achieve that, to quote, get the stragglers who don't want to get the thing. Never mind the fact that the legislation says that we can't pursue any legal avenue of recourse if there's side effects from any of these shots. With that kind of legislation, they could literally just put cyanide in the fucking thing, and here you go, you're healthy now.
Sure, absolutely.
So,
in other fun news, maybe fun for me, but not fun for you who want the vaccine. Wyoming bans vaccine passports.
Oh, no more papers, please.
No more papers, please.
Oh,
we haven't even gotten to vaccine passports, but they're banning it all together.
Oh man, now we'll just have to limit those to DWI checkpoints.
And Fauci is
Dr. Fauci?
Dr. Fauci has moved the goal again. Next year, by the time we hit Mother's Day next year, will be when we are normal.
Oh,
when we
really?
can go back to normal. And masks will be very seasonal.
Hey, you shouldn't wear a mask after Labor Day.
He also says we need to relax the mask policies indoors.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, just in time for July 4th, too.
I wonder what Dr. Fawcett will say tomorrow.
Oh, he's going to say 4 masks are the new norm.
Yeah, 4 masks, and then, he's going to tell everybody they need to wear diapers now. That's why they were doing the anal swabs in China, because people need to wear diapers, adult diapers, because of COVID.
Oh, I thought that was just because they wanted to be funny and fuck over some Americans.
Make sure you get your COVID adult diaper. and just like your mask, and have it all done with neat designs and everything.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh my god, all this shit is so hot. This has literally been the fucking greatest year of my life.
Have you heard about the GMO mosquitoes?
Oh, what about them?
Well, people are very upset that they didn't get their consent before they released all these GMO mosquitoes into the wild. Now, from the report I heard about it, the mosquitoes have been put there. Apparently, there's this very aggressive species of mosquitoes in Florida.
Right.
And to get rid of them, they invented this GMO mosquito.
They alternated the DNA coding to help get rid of help their bodies fight Lyme disease or whatever.
Well, not only that, but they've made these mosquitoes such that when they mate with the female mosquitoes, because all the mosquitoes they've released are male.
Right.
So when they mate with the female mosquitoes, they will release a deadly toxin that will kill the female mosquito.
That one.
So that way, no births occur.
Right.
Now, I don't know how good this is going to be. I don't know if this is going to have an effect or won't have an effect.
And this is the same thing, over and over again. You're messing with the natural forces of nature, and things are, it's not an easy thing to decide, and yet people just go ahead and do whatever the fuck anyways. It's you're taking something, and instead of there being a natural slow shift one way or another, you're just jamming things in one way, and you have no idea of the consequences. So
everybody knows brute forcing is the right way.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, in any situation, it's all speculative, and you're all dealing with,
I worry for the future of Florida. I'm taking off my list of future places to retire to at this moment.
But they don't require masks there.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to Texas.
Oh, okay.
See, I got two of them.
I got
a backup.
You're gonna go check out that pipeline?
No.
Make sure they don't get cyber attack.
No.
Cyber attack.
We can't even talk about that. Hush, hush.
Oh my god. And the whole thing with that is they're like, they have all these monitors that control the pump and so forth, and that was hacked.
Right.
And this is once again the whole thing of you don't have critical shit controlled, connected to the internet, which I don't believe is the actual case, at all. But putting something on the internet is asking for it to be hacked.
Much like that thing we had last year. You know the thing.
Yeah, the thing. You guys know the thing.
I'm interested in seeing how much I'm going to be spending on my car in the next week or two. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I found very interesting while I was perusing articles.
What's that?
I ran across this article because it popped up on my phone. Apparently, they know that I have a Honda Accord.
Well, do they?
It couldn't be from the fact that I make car payments.
Did you remember to get the extended warranty on your car before it ran out?
Yes. I remembered to say "fuck off and die" to every person that ever said, "Would you like an extended crap warranty?" And
I knew this guy. He did the best thing with telemarketers.
Which was?
Whenever they would call him and he'd be like, "Oh, you're trying to sell you this bullshit, blah blah blah," he would just turn around and be like, he could just go on the phone. "You sound hot."
I wish I could even do that, but they're all robots. I can't even. The robot's gonna not even know what I'm talking about.
I'll pick them up sometimes. I'll just sit there and go, "Hello," and they'll start talking, "Hello," and they're like, and I just sit there and go, "Hello," while they're talking, and they're like, "Can you hear me? Hello?"
You should just play the maid from Family Guy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I realize some of these people are just people desperate for work and whatnot, but still,
Those are bottom of the barrel people. I don't give a shit about them.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't have a little fun with them.
Sure.
But, okay, so you were talking about this article.
Well, it was an article, and it was about the fact that there might be an issue with my Honda Accord because mine is from 2015, and it's affecting cars between 2013 and 2015. Mm-hmm. I was just interested because, maybe there'll be a recall. We'll see how that affects me. But the most interesting part about it is I looked it up, and I looked up all the all the different versions of it.
Mhm.
There's only 2 versions of the article,
Right.
but there's over 10 websites that have this article, and they all read exactly the same.
Oh, kind
And
of like the
it's-
Black Physicist article.
Sure. And I'm looking at the author of the article, and it's this guy whose name I don't care about. And I didn't see the author for the other article. I think they just changed some words around on that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm just reminded of how every news website farms out a good majority of their stuff to like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And then they sell
They
it to
just
every
go-
newspaper.
What's in your asshole today? Oh, okay.
And the article wasn't even informative. It didn't really tell me terribly much other than it affected 33 or 77 cars or something. And I'm like, wow, there's a small fraction of cars.
Did you read any other interesting articles?
No, they were all too boring.
They were all too boring. I mean, were they beneath you?
No. They were totally beneath me. And speaking of beneath, nearly half of Americans think they are better than everyone they know. New study finds. I'm reading this and I'm like, wow. The best part about this article, I should say study, was that the study was...
All right, well, hold on. Before, this is an initial study, right? It's not a peer review.
I don't even know.
Okay.
Because it was,
Usually when it's articles like that, it's an initial study. They don't talk about the peer reviews, but we'll go on. It's fun to talk
the
about.
study was from, I believe, a tourist company, and they're trying to find out how people feel about plant-based medicines and such.
Uh-huh.
And there were two plants whose names I will not try to pronunciate because I can't. And I was also thinking it was leading towards some sort of thing with weed and THC when it said plant-based medications and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't. It didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
But the funny part about it was that in this article they had these questions that they were asking people, and it turns out that like 83% of people just think that that people are good. Okay, so the first question they ask is, do you believe that people are good? And so 83% of people think that people are good. Then they further reduced the question down, and they said, do you believe you are good? And there was a good number of people that actually believed that they weren't good.
They weren't good?
Yes!
Oh, wow.
That was an interesting part about it. And then they asked, do you think you're better than people you know, or something like that? And like 48% of people think they are better than everyone they know.
Yeah.
I'm astounded by it because I know that I'm not better than everyone I know. I know I'm not even better than half the people I know. I might be better than you, but
well, I mean that's a pretty low bar.
It's like a 1 to a 2. So
well, I mean that bar is that it's beneath the ground, so.
You better call someone in to raise it up.
So one last piece of nightmare fuel we got. The Donkey Fint group in the Citadel, they all came together and said, well, the majority of them came together and said, you know what, we're going to make sure, that this was like a letter that they all like signed and everything, we're going to make sure that there's going to be no requirements on any aid to Israel.
No requirements on... So the Demolicans said that there's going to be no requirements for aid to
Yes,
Israel.
that's what the Donkey Fint said. And the funniest part about this is that apparently the entire Progressive Caucus signed on to this.
Really? Including AOC and Elon Omar and...
I would guess so. I mean, if it's the entire Progressive Caucus.
I thought some of them were against this stuff.
But now what I understand is pretty much all the red side and like most of the blue side and whatnot. But it's so hilarious that like especially hearing it from the people that label themselves with that buzzword conservative, how they're like, oh, affirmative action is so bad, you shouldn't take away a job from a white guy, just give it a black guy, if the white guy is better qualified. But when it comes to Israel, oh, it's okay, we took the land from people that have been there for a while just to give it the land that were there before, not around anymore. It's okay, because my kikes, bro.
Well, the Demolicans are also telling me that the 4th stimulus payment, which I didn't even know there was going to be a 4th stimmy, might be delayed.
It's all yeah, but and this is one of those first buzzwords we're going to get into because that's what our episode is about today, the buzzwords. and that is the whole anti-Semitism. Now, you ever look at the definition? What was it? In the UN, I think it was about what anti-Semitism is. You could say I like peanut butter, and according to that definition, be anti-Semitic.
Oh, really? Huh?
Because it was just anything that I forget the. I probably should have punched up the lyric, but it's basically anything that the Israel doesn't like is anti-Semitic.
Oh, so you're talking about peanut butter during Passover? Apparently, according to one group of Jews, you cannot have peanut butter during Passover.
I did not know that.
Peanut butter is one of those nuts or things that were not around.
Oh, peanut butter is a legume. It's not a nut.
Except they call it a nut. Shh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use bad words to explain bad things.
Buzzwords?
Buzzwords explain terrible things.
Or either that or buzzwords are just terrible at explaining things.
So, I've asked my parents many times, but it's because we're Ashkenazi. Ashkenazis or maybe we're Sephardic. I get these things mixed up. It's something I just don't give a shit about because I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But that's two different tribes of
Israel,
of
Jews, yeah.
Jews, and one group says that you cannot have corn or legumes or mushrooms or this or that and blah 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 blah, and the other side doesn't care or something. And I just think about the fact that whenever I talk to my family members, and I'm like, well, how do I know which vegetables are kosher? And they're like, oh, well, all vegetables are kosher. All fruits are kosher. And I always thought about that, and I'm like, that doesn't make much sense to me. But I'm just going to go along with it. And then they told me, yeah, stoneware cannot be dairy once you've put meat onto it. That has a lot to do with some stupid bullshit about the fact that...
absorbing the porous and whatnot, yeah.
Yes. And apparently... I don't know how true this is, but apparently you might be able to taste the pork the next time you eat off the plate.
Oh, wow. I mean, I never washed my plate, so that's a good possibility.
Possible. But apparently glass is non-porous, so glass can be both milkic and flacic, regardless. You just have to make sure you wash it, throw it in a microwave it for 20 minutes, so that way it becomes, neutral again. Kills all the particles.
So... What I want to go on, I want to take this opportunity to, since our topic is stupid words and buzzwords and all that stuff.
Yes.
I know I've talked about it before on the show. I just want to go on the tirade again, and hold on, I gotta get myself into tirade mode. Hold on 1 second.
You sure?
Yeah.
You want to go that far?
I want to go that far.
Okay.
I'm gonna push all the buttons. So profanity, stupidest fucking idea ever. It's fucking ridiculous, because when we talk about profanity, now I'm including a couple words here, right?
Okay.
There are a couple ideas here, like the quote unquote curse words, and then the racial epithets and all that stuff. The idea of profanity, which came from religion, at least the religious nuts were smart enough to say, well, the context matters, right? If you say something blasphemous, it's how you say it, not so much using a specific word. Whereas with curse words and racial epithets, oh no, the word is just inherently bad. I mean, this is how far we've come down in the intelligence level in human history. I mean, and a lot of people who promote the idea of there being inherently bad words and this, that, and the other thing, well, and these are all the people that are like, oh, well, the intent matters and blah, blah, blah. Well, the idea of profanity was to enhance a theocracy and to promote ethnicism, and I say ethnicism, not racism, because that's another fucking buzzword. I'm going to get into that later on. But all this fucking bullshit of, oh, it's bad words, you can't say that, and blah, 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 because, you're better Persian, you fucking blow yourself. And this whole idea of, there's some laws that say it's child abuse to teach your children profanity and whatnot. No, actually, it's the fucking opposite, because if you teach them because otherwise you're teaching them that they need to be hurt or offended or this, that, and the other thing when they hear a word. It's like the law is you have to train them like a fucking dog to react in a certain way when they hear a certain sound. Words are not inherently bad. Racial slurs and whatnot, all bullshit. Kike, wop, chink, spick, nigger, whatever. I don't give a fuck. If you are a black person and I say to you, fuck you, you dirty nigger, the only appropriate response is to say, fuck you back, you pasty ass cracker. And then afterwards, depending on the context before that exchange, we either scrap or we go have a couple of drinks. But all this, oh, no, that's racist. You know what this does? That fucking this is racist bullshit? It puts a stamp right on your forehead. If you're a woman and you go, oh my God, that's racist, you have put that stamp on your head, fuck and don't date.
I believe it's an L.
If you're a man and you get that, oh, it's racist, words hurt, you've put a stamp on your head, says, get your alimony checks here. That's it. Weak people are the only people that get offended by fucking stupid words. You know, I've been called a Polak. I'm pretty sure you've been called this, that, and the other thing. It's fucking stupid. Who gives a fuck? It's fucking words. It's noises. Words only do one thing. They inform you about the speaker. That's all they ever do. And if you want to sit there and say, oh, words hurt my feelings, blah, 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 well, that's a weakness on your part. Either because you've been trained that way or because you're just some fucking grifter that's trying to get an edge of something. But, you know, and I can understand, now I will make the caveat, I can understand like some people that have actually been through trauma and then like certain things trigger PTSD. I've had that, right? Things have triggered my PTSD, things that I've heard, you know, I would hear and it would trigger it. But, yeah, there's not very many people. No. And you know what's funny is like you have some guy like Dave Chappelle, right? Dave Chappelle, who, if I went to Dave Chappelle, said, "Yo, what's up, nigger?" He would just be like, "Yo, what's up, honky?" And that would be it. But I remember seeing on Bill Maher a few years ago. I think it was like I think it was Ice Cube or something. I don't want to say I remember specifically who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the gangster rappers. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, the gangster rapper's more worried about his fifis than a comedian. But it's fucking stupid. No, that's racist. Well, secondly, fucking racist isn't an actual thing. I'm a racist. I hate humans. Fuck you. The actual word. The actual word people should be using is ethnicist. But no, people want to use all these buzzwords. All these buzzwords are going to point out in the show, in the rest of the episode. Why? Because they're intellectually fucking lazy. And they don't want to use their fucking... They want to simplify things and sound clever and this, that, and the other thing. And they also want to promote this whole monolithic thinking in what most of these words I'm going to be... Well, at least that I'm going to be pulling up. I'm pretty sure Greg also. They want to promote monolithic thinking in very fucking ambiguous concepts. And I'm just fucking sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. You fucking losers, almost 8 billion fucking losers. I'm fucking sick of it.
Wow. These are terrible examples of buzzwords.
I'm
just looking up random buzzwords online.
So what's your buzzword? I bitched about profanity and racism. Okay, what do you got?
Black and brown people.
All that shit. You know, when people... That's the other thing, too. I don't like referring to people, like, categorizing them by what they fucking look like. I mean, when people ask me about my ex-wife, you know, she described herself as black Hispanic, and I'm just like, you know, she's black Hispanic, whatever. Fuck. I don't give a fuck what you look like. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you look like. You're a fucking piece of shit. No matter what your skin tone is, no matter where you fucking came from, no matter man, woman, anything, you're a fucking piece of shit. And why I have to refer to a person by what they look like for anything other than a fucking medical condition because, you know, it does have an indicator of, like, genealogy for, like, medical traits and so forth. It's fucking stupid. People are fucking stupid.
You know, it's another great buzzword.
What's that?
LGBTQAI.
Plus.
It's
we got to make sure we pick a letter for everybody. I mean, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares about who you like to fuck? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You fuck whoever you want. I said it before. All I care about is there's 3 things. There's no force, coercion, or deception. As long as there's those 3 things, I don't give a fuck one way or another about you, about who you want to fuck. It's fucking stupid. Why do I care? Why should I care about this shit? Why? Somebody fucking tell me why. You can't. You know why you can't? Because it's fucking bullshit. It's fucking stupid. Just like this whole fucking thing of, oh, the government's so bad. That is another fucking buzzword for you, right?
Oh, totally.
The government's bad. You know, I love the fact that you hear from people a lot of like the pro-gun people. Oh, guns don't kill people. People kill people. But the government, that's inherently bad. Like it's some fucking conscious entity or whatnot.
The best part about the word government is when it's good and when it's bad.
Oh,
The government is good when the police are on my side. The government is bad when the police are on the other side. And what's even worse is that the government is nothing but a bunch of people.
It's a tool.
Yes.
That's what the government is. The government is a tool. Just like a hammer is a tool, just like a gun's a tool, it's a tool. You want to bitch about something about the government, you bitch about the fucking politicians that are in it. No, you don't want to do that because you want to be fucking lazy and use little fucking words and not have, 100 years ago we actually spoke out complete thoughts, and as I've said before, brevity is only the soul of wit if you accurately get the idea across. But this whole idea of the government, that was a brilliant thing with Ronald Reagan. It was like the 9 worst words you hear with "I'm from the government, I'm here to help you." It was a psychological trick that a whole shitload of people fell into, where he just tried to, in that instant, he separated himself from the rest of the government. Oh, I'm the president, but somehow I'm not the government at the same time. Oh, look at that.
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Is this like that wonderful joke, there are only 1 and 0 kinds of people?
But it's all this is fucking stupid. And the whole government thing, politicians are telling you, oh, you don't want the government this, that, and the other thing, and then they fucking turn around and do it anyway. What the fuck do you expect? Dumb shits?
There's another great word that's a pretty progressive. No.
Progressive?
Progressive is another great word.
Oh yeah, progressing towards what? What are we progressing towards? If you know anything about the universe, there's no such thing in negative, as I tell my students, there's no such thing as negative in the universe. Negative just means the opposite direction. You're always going forward, realistically, when it comes to physics. So what are we progressing towards?
I don't even know.
What are we progressing towards?
We're progressing towards the destruction of humanity.
Yup, this year...
Because, it's very interesting. I used to think liberal meant one thing.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm being told liberal means another thing.
Right.
And then I'm being told that liberalism is different from being liberal, which is different than being libertarian.
And that's another one of those ambiguous terms that people try to monolithically put people in, just like conservative. What does it mean to be liberal? It means to be, basically hands-off. What does it mean to conserve? Keep things the way they are.
And yet all the people that are claiming they're liberal are not hands-off at all. They're very hands-on. In fact, they're so hands-on that once they've deposed the government, they want to bring in the government. Oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Well, it does when we talk about I'm going to talk about it in our next episode,
Okay.
because government, I'm going to go more into the idea of government in that episode. But the whole thing of liberal and conservative, they're just that's all they are. They're really simple concepts. But even if you look in the dictionary, it's all these little fucking things that tacked on that don't actually are not part of what they actually mean.
People.
Like if you look under both liberal and conservative, they'll both say is for the free market as part of. What the fuck does the word liberal or conservative have to do with anything? What is being open, letting things run wild?
Anything to do with the market?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What is the idea of allowing things to? I mean, you could say liberal is more for that way by proxy, but not directly. When the liberal is really the definition of liberal is hands off, and the definition of conservative is don't let things change, right? To conserve, to be liberal with, that's the definitions. What the fuck do those inherently have to do with any kind of market?
I have no idea.
No idea. But all these, and the same thing, left, right, too. These are other buzzwords, political buzzwords of sides, right? The fucking banners are supposed to...
Well, that's just to divide us.
Yeah.
Because obviously if I'm not right, I'm left, and if I'm not left, I'm right. But no one's ever decided that I can't be up or down.
Yeah, or back and front, or let's go in fourth dimension, too. But...
Past and future? I would love to be past. Okay? I don't know about you.
Well, no, you can't have a past anymore because, like, what was that?
It's being erased.
Well, no, but like what happened with Steve Harvey. It's like, oh, we found this from your past, and now you're a bad person once again because you did this. Another
That
victim.
means I gotta find a new party. I can't be the past party.
Another victim of the Ultimecia attack.
I must be of the future party.
You know where I got that reference from?
No.
Have you ever played Final Fantasy VIII?
I did, but only briefly.
So yeah, because it was a horrible game. But Ultimecia was the sorceress in. It was the sorceress who was like the end protagonist or antagonist of end boss of Final Fantasy VIII. And what she wanted to do was to compress all of time and space into one point, so that she could rule it all. So that's why I call it the Ultimecia attack, because yesterday is also today, and tomorrow is also today, and today is yesterday.
Well, hold up. If you're going to do the bit from Spaceballs, you got to do it right.
No, that wasn't doing the bit from Spaceballs, but... But this whole thing, right? Left, right. These words don't fucking mean anything. Here's right, here's left, that's all it fucking means. I got 2 hands, or 2 feet. Or 2 penises, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Realistically,
but
left and right don't even mean that either.
Right.
We've just applied that meaning to them because we've decided that's how we're going to make everything work.
Right, and it's, another thing I tell my students is you have to pay attention, you have to understand the difference and pay attention to what's denotation and connotation. A lot of people like to talk in connotation, and they forget the denotation, and then that's why nobody knows what the fuck anybody's talking about anymore, because everybody's got their own fucking definition for everything, and... Here's another one. Feminism.
Toxic masculinity.
No. Feminism, word with the root feminine, is supposed to be about gender equality.
Bullshit.
If you really are an activist for gender equality, if you're so lazy even with your words to not say that you're for gender equality and that you're for feminism instead, why am I supposed to believe that you're actually going to be for gender equality?
They're not for gender equality. They're for gender equity.
Well, no, there are some people... Well, whatever. Gender equality, equity. Me, personally, I'm for gender neutrality, whatever. But why? Because what does that show me? If people want to call themselves feminists, and I'm a feminist, I'm for gender equality. That tells me that you are more concerned with the banner and how you label yourself than the end goal. Than what you're preaching.
But most of those people don't really give a shit.
Well, I mean, and some of them are good intentioned people, but still, it's an identity thing. They want to hold on to that word, which doesn't mean anything. It just means having to do with feminine. Doesn't mean anything about feminine one way or another. It just means having to do with the feminine.
I'm not sure those people even know what they're talking about.
Most people don't know what they're talking about.
I'm
gonna push back on you from what was it, our second episode when I was talking about the word smart. No, smart means is an indication of intelligence, not knowledge. 2 different things. Book smart, street smart. People use the word the wrong fucking way.
I disagree.
I don't give a shit. That's the definition of the word.
I'm going to continue to disagree with you because the word
because you're smart.
No, I'm intelligent, and I've seen too many people using the word smart when they mean intelligent.
Smart means intelligent.
No, it does not.
Okay. All right. You know what? Let's both take a step back. We will both do the etymology research, and we'll get back to that one. How's that?
I've done the research. Fuck you.
I'm gonna look up the.
I will. I'll do that.
All right.
We'll touch base on this on the next episode.
We'll talk. Well, that'll be one of the things in the next episode. What's your next buzzword you want to get into?
I want to get into arms.
Arms.
Yes.
Look, they're wild. You ever play that game?
Yes, I have.
That was a great game. Great anime too.
I want to get into arms because I every single goddamn person that talks about the fucking Second Amendment never mentions the fact that arms could also be swords. They could be knives. They could be shurikens. They could be whatever goddamn fucking weapon I want them to be. If I want to use a sword, right here.
Look at me, I'm bearing arms.
Look at that.
This is really a really nice sword.
I'm bearing arms too. It's a phone.
I got this from what was it? That Sword Guy, some shop in Canada. Much better version.
How much?
150 Canadian, I think.
I paid $60 for a cheaper replica of this years ago at an anime convention.
This is actually a real sword, and it's made from 1090 carbon steel, and much better than how the sword is actually drawn. It's actually functional because the fucking guard on the way the real sword is you would not be able to swing that fucking thing. Careful,
man, careful.
Yeah, it's sharp. I already stabbed myself with it.
Is that what that mark on your arm is from?
No, it's on the leg.
So I get very angry about the fact that We believe that guns are the only goddamn arms that there could possibly be that the Second Amendment would be referring to. Let alone the fact that a cannon is arms. Grenades. Bombs of any kind.
Rocket
are arms,
launchers.
Okay?
Fork swords.
My fucking fists could be arms. They are arms.
You missed my last one.
Which one?
Pork swords.
Pork sword. There we go. The word arms is just an abbreviation for armaments.
What happened to this guy? He received a fatal mushroom stamping.
You know, when I play some of my D&D games and such, and some of these games use armaments, they're not talking about goddamn guns. They're talking like bow and arrows and maces and clubs and that's all armaments.
Yeah.
If you watch some of those fantasy TV shows and they're talking about armaments, they're not talking about guns. They don't even have guns.
Yeah, I know, right?
A well-armed militia. It could be anything. It could be anything from the dagger to the gun.
Speaking of things involving the government, here's 3 more buzzwords.
3 more?
Wait, let me do it this way. 3 more buzzwords.
There we go. Done.
That people think are inherently part of the governmental legislation as a whole, but really these are just strictly economic words, and the two don't necessarily mean or imply the other, and that is communism, capitalism, and socialism. You know what? If you think communism is about putting people in gulags, you're fucking stupid. Kill yourself. If you think communism is about everybody living together happily in some little fucking farm everywhere and working together, fuck you, you're fucking stupid. Kill yourself. If you think socialism is about the state owning everything, fuck you, you're stupid. Kill yourself. I mean, I don't think anybody refers to Twitter or Facebook as state media.
Not yet, they don't.
And when I have a group of friends, I have a state circle.
I've never heard of that.
If you think socialism is about people automatically getting stuff they need, fuck you, you're stupid, kill yourself. If you think capitalism is all about you being able to make your way through the world and have an idea and you can rise to the top and blah, 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 fuck you, you're stupid, kill yourself. If you think that capitalism is all about oppressing other people because I got this and you don't, okay, yeah, fuck you, you're stupid, kill yourself, although that one might have a little bit of weight to it.
Before you go to kill yourself,
okay,
please dislike the video so that we know that you cared enough
to kill yourself?
Before you kill yourself.
Yes, please run face first into a wall of spikes. Thank you. But again, ism just means having to do with. So having to do with the commune, having to do with capital, which means the privately held assets, and having to do with the social, the people in general. These do not mean all the fucking things. It's like fucking 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in economic terms.
Kevin Bacon?
Bacon. You know what? Fuck you. I'm slurring my words already. It's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in economic terms. Shut up, Craig. They don't mean what you think they mean. But, people will explain them to you, and they'll try to say, oh, no, this is what it means. And you know what? I'm just going to let Vinny say it from here.
He's going to show you the bricks. He'll show you they got straight sides. He'll show you how they got the right shape. He showed them to you in a very special way, so that they appear to have everything a brick should have. But there's one thing he's not going to show you. When you look at the bricks at the right angle,
or these
they're
words,
as thin as this playing card. His whole case is an illusion, a magic trick.
And that's what it all is. It's all fucking illusions, buzzwords, banner wavings, blah, blah, blah.
It's a good argument.
You know what? If you really want to talk about the way our economic system is, again, let's stop using these simplified words. And again, we can talk about the intent. Like capitalism was invented to replace feudalism. It was meant to keep the poor people, in economic, what's it called?
Slavery.
It's economic slavery by having it basically helped to take the monarchy out of the governmental body and put it in the workplace. We could talk about Karl Marx said, hey, this is communism, so apparently he gets to define what communism is because, I don't know, he's the first one to use it.
It's funny about that.
But it's all fucking stupid. If you really want it's all fucking stupid buzzwords. If you really want to talk about how things in economy are and how you want them to be, use plain language of what you're not going to do because you're all fucking stupid and lazy. But talk about what's privately owned and what's publicly owned. These are simpler concepts. These are not ambiguous concepts. These are hard concepts. They do not change. What's publicly owned? Well, like parks and streets and this, that, and the other thing. Well, what's privately owned? Okay, well, that's money and this, that, and the other thing. And this whole idiotic thing of capitalism, like, capitalism being about democracy. Actually, capitalism is antithetical to democracy because democracy is everybody has equal weight. Capitalism, right, the whole idea of I have private assets as the overarching everything of the economy is I can have things you don't have. Like, right, hey, Greg, ever sign an NDA?
Yes.
Have you ever signed a non-competition agreement?
No.
Oh, well, you know you can do that, right?
I could.
And you know what that is? That's signing away your rights. That's turning your rights into a commodity. And yet, capitalism promotes democracy.
Hold on. I could have sworn the devil used those right-taking language as well.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
get access to your soul,
Mhm.
steal your soul. And, funny thing about Karl Marx. Did you know later in life he actually came out against some of his previous things? Mm-hmm. Which, funnily enough...
Yeah, a lot of the people
they always seem to forget about.
Yeah, a lot of the Marxists don't really point that out.
I mean, have they not read that far into his teachings?
I mean...
It just seems... It's like one of those things where I'm hearing about, well, the great Prophet Muhammad was earlier in life preaching for this.
I don't know what this guy looks like, by the way.
And then later in life... he was preaching for the exact opposite of this.
Uh-huh.
But somehow, both are correct. Because we can have peace and war
both
at the
are
same
correct.
time.
Both are correct all of the time. It's
another great buzzword is intersectionality. I don't know what it means. People still can't tell me what it means. All I know is it leads to a hierarchy of who is right and who is wrong in any situation.
Right. Well, intersectionality, that's just things crossing over one each other.
Not how everyone else explains it.
That's the base word itself, intersectional, because you talk about intersectional feminism is supposed to be this idea combined with this idea. So that's really what intersectionality by itself means. But the way it gets used is just like, okay, what are you intersecting? It's like, I'm an intersection of this. Okay, so what? You're intersecting between two different thises that are really just the same thing, and so you're not really intersecting anything? What the fuck's going on?
The way I keep seeing it being used is that apparently intersectionalism, I'm going to go a little further, one of those little isms added to it, allows you to understand that the black trans woman, which is just a man, is at the highest part of the intersectional pyramid, and that if you're Jewish, you're just above the white guy. Even though not all Jews are white.
Yeah.
And some of them are olive-colored. And the whole entire intersectional pyramid is this fight over power, which, to me, that's what
that's all it is. Using banners. Yeah, I mean, that's whenever you hear people want to use buzzwords, it's all about them wanting to pull the wool over your eyes or something. They think they're giving you the red pill, or they'll tell you they're giving you the red pill, but really it's a cherry flavored placebo to get you to fall under another banner. That's it, right? Because that's the other buzzword. Oh, you gotta take. You're not red pilled. Blah 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 blah.
Quick, black pill man.
And that's a lot of what the red pill bullshit is. It's just, oh, you're not into this group, and now you're free. You're free thing. It's always funny how when a lot of people will be like, when they hear something and they don't agree with it, it's like, oh, where'd you get that from? But when they hear something coming from somebody and they agree with it, it's like, oh, you're very good at coming up with ideas for yourself.
Have you heard of another great word, QAnon?
Yeah, and also his counterpart, Blueanon.
Oh, yes, I have. I heard of both of those wonderful buzzwords. Anytime I want to discredit someone, I'll just be able to say, oh, yeah, you're QAnon. I don't have to listen to what you're saying.
Yeah. Or
no, you're Blueanon.
Yeah.
I don't have to listen to what you're saying. You think Russia did everything. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's been a glut of great words.
Yeah, and most of those, another buzzword I'll get into is the whole elite, right? And this here tied in with the idea of capitalism and everything, right? So the whole idea is like, oh, they're elites, or these are people that have pulled themselves up from the ground and they made it big, they made a lot of money. No, like the whole idea of what we're supposed to call capitalism is a pyramid, and you're climbing to the top. It's not. It's a funnel. Okay.
Is it a funnel?
It is a funnel because
I thought it was chutes and ladders.
the only way to get wealth is to take it from other people. Okay? Wealth doesn't get created. Stuff doesn't get created. This is just a natural law of the universe. Stuff doesn't get created. It's just transferred from one place or one form to another.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa. Are you telling me that there aren't just magical trees of money that just sprout?
No, it's like our penny pinching exercise. What was it last week?
Wait. Hold up. Are you telling me that on Earth there exists a finite amount of gold that, as the Jewish Jew, I cannot own all of it?
Well, for the most part,
unless I steal it.
Well, for the most part, yes, but the Earth does slam into about 60 tons of space dust every day. So.
But there's only a finite amount of gold. It's not like gold is just gonna appear.
Well, I mean, but like even if you all of a sudden discover new source of gold or whatever the fuck resource, the idea is wealth, right? And wealth is the combination of value of everything, and that's what enables you to put it in scientific terms. Nothing gets created out of nothing. It's just changed from one thing to another. That's why all the printing up of the money that's been going on is taking wealth from the average person and giving it to the select few.
Hold up. I think you might be wrong on this.
Really?
Oh yes.
All right.
One small part about this.
Okay, what part?
Okay. If I take my money
Mm-hmm.
in United States dollars
Mm-hmm.
and I turn it into yen,
Right.
and I somehow see that the U.S. economy is about to tank,
Right.
and I convert my money back from yen into dollars
Right.
after the United States economy has tanked,
Mm-hmm.
I have created money provided all of the products I buy are exactly the same cost.
But that's not actually creating wealth, though. What that is you're taking advantage of the shifting of wealth between the dollar and the yen.
Shh! Well, fuck you! What if I just added zero to everything?
Well, then you'd be Ben Bernanke.
Damn.
Or no, sorry, who's is Janet Yellen again?
I don't even know.
Fucking, who knows all these assholes? I like what Janet Yellen. Oh, I can't remember specifics of it, but like a couple weeks ago, she's like, "Oh, we can't like buy into this stuff," or no, wait, we have to buy into all this stuff, and then she turned around and sold all of that thing, and then was like, "Oh, we shouldn't invest into this or whatever." I can't remember what the details were. I got to look it up.
I was trying to explain to a very young coworker of mine at work earlier today. The idea of buying power. He just didn't understand buying power because he told me earlier in the day, yeah, my friend just started doing Forex, and I'm like, this light bulb is going off in my head like, wow, this kid doesn't know anything about anything. And he said, well, my friend made $40, and the only thing I could think to myself was, wow, the guy made $40 already? The economy must be really doing bad. So I'm trying to explain to him, if you take $100 and you turn it into 10,000 yen, and then you convert the 10,000 yen back to $150
Right.
a year later, but the DS that you were going to buy for $100 now cost $150, have you created money?
Right.
And he said yes, and I said no, because your buying power is exactly the same.
The word technically the word you should use is wealth.
I should have. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Right.
But I think he got lost as soon as I started converting numbers into numbers into numbers.
But
math was not a strong point.
Well, I mean, but this is why people shouldn't learn math, because math is racist, and as long as people don't learn racist math, they'll never know how money actually works.
Right. That's why when I go from 100 to 62, I first got to add 8 to 60 so I can get to 70. Then I minus 70 from 100 to get 30, and I add 8 to get 38. Wow, that was awfully long. I could have done that so much quicker if I just said 38.
I'd rather masturbate with a cheese grater.
I'm sure you'd have gotten some sort of multiplication there.
No, there would definitely not be a woman present.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
No thanks. All right, I went through my list of buzzwords. What else you got?
I don't really think there's many other buzzwords that I was hyped up on talking about. It's just
Really? The majority of this episode was me going on a drunken rage?
That's the best part about it.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about these buzzwords in general. I just think that there's entirely too many. You see the same words being used over and over and over again. There's at least 1,000 other buzzwords that we didn't come across. But if you watch the media and they start using
Russia.
the same word over and over and over and over and over again, it is a buzzword. If you come across 5 news channels, and with the exception of 5 words, they are exactly the same. They've been scripted. They're all using the new buzzword. Russia was a buzzword for quite some time. If someone said Russia, you had to associate it with Trump, the orange man. The orange man is bad.
Yeah. The orange. It sounded like you said orange man there for a second.
Orange man.
Well, I mean, so that's the thing with a lot of these buzzwords is that these are words that are naturally ambiguous that people expect you or want you to have some kind of connotation to, and what they do is they try to monolith ideas, and by monolithing the ideas, you monolith the narrative, and you make it easier to control by whoever the fuck wants to take control of it, because that's what all the stupid people are going to do. They're going to pay attention to the loudest voices because the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and you want some buzzwords? Here's 5 buzzwords for you. 4 buzzwords for you that this will actually be being kind to our listeners and actually giving them some helpful advice.
Ooh.
Here's a phrase that you can use for all the people and their stupid buzzwords.
Wait,
it's
hold
4
on.
words.
It's 4 words.
4 words.
You said 5 words.
I said 5 words. I had to count it because I'm stupid.
Let me. I need to think about this. That would be my 4 words. But why don't you say what it is, and I'll tell you what.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be fuck off and die.
Also good.
Those are great words.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. If you're a person that needs to use buzzwords, you need to use, you need to call yourself a capitalist. You need to call yourself a liberal. You need to call yourself a feminist. If this is so important to refer to yourself by one of these fucking words, or really to refer to yourself by a title, right? Put yourself in that little box. I understand this is a human condition that we all kind of need to organize things, but if you're so hardline by putting yourself in that little fucking box, well then, run face first into a wall of spikes. It's how you win the game of life. Trust me.
I would encourage.
I have a very trusting face. Trust me.
You do not. I would encourage anybody who is finding themselves having to use phrases that sound really cringy, like black and brown people. Those are cringy phrases to me. It doesn't make any sense. People of color. That was another one.
Oh yeah, and they have Latinx and
You know, for some reason, colored people is bad, but people of color is good. And now black and brown people is the next version of people of color, which doesn't make much sense.
I should call up all my cousins and just start saying, "Yo, what's up, you fucking wop?"
Wop.
Dago, Mick.
Yeah. The whole idea behind all of these things just doesn't make any sense.
Well, a lot of it was, and it's that thing that somebody used it in a way that made somebody feel bad, so now we can't say it anymore. Well, you know what?
Off.
You know what? Because if you want to refer to like flavored carbonated beverages, some places call it Coke, some places call it soda, some places call it pop. So, you want to have some soda? Oh, you want to have soda? Because that's what a lot of this.
Hold up, it's soda.
That's what a lot of this whole idea of words being bad and so forth. One of the big proponents was when William the Bastard came over from France, conquered England, brought a bunch of French people over there, and was like, "Oh, we don't use those English words because we're respectable French people. So, like shit and all that stuff, don't use those words." Blah 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 blah.
Crap?
I forget what I don't remember the specific words choices, but
If I
that's
don't
the
use
whole
shit,
idea.
I don't use crap. Can I use poop?
It's the whole thing, and like I said, even the religious nuts that were using language to control people by saying blasphemy was a bad thing, at least they understood the idea of context, not this whole idea that a word is inherently bad. No, fuck you, fuck off, eat a bag of dicks, climb a mountain of dicks with bad mouth first, shove a rusty pitchfork in your urethra, turn it sideways, and giggle. Exactly.
Excuse me.
And with that, that's all we have time for in this episode. Be sure to check out our next
Wow.
Shut the fuck up,
You
Greg.
sure you don't want the script? It's there.
Oh,
Right there.
Good one. I gotta hand it to you. But turning that one around on me, that's good. Be sure to watch our next episode, which is titled "You Shall Not." Or not. Don't watch it. Fuck you either way.
With that said, once again, I am Greg.
And I am Charles.
Remember never to question.
Never ask for proof.
And always believe what you're told by the news and politicians.
No matter what. Now go back to sleep, fuckers. Good night, fellow human. You'll wake up tomorrow to cause more destruction and bring much more sorrow. You'll go out and smile and pretend you are good. But once you get crossed, you'll don a black hood. You'll maim and you'll rend all while you pretend that you are some kind of hero. You can't face the truth and you'll stay aloof to the fact that you're a zero. You'll sit and stay glued to a spoon-feeding tube so that you can believe you're the best. You'll obey and be bribed by a campaigner's lies. All throughout the COVID murder fest.